Hello, my name is Lucas. This is A Bit of Lit, and I'm here to talk about a very good book. It's a middle grade book, young adult book. It is A Wish in the Dark by Christina Soontornvat. I hope I got her name right. I believe this person is an American with Thai parents. I believe that's what it says. Yes, grew up in a small Texas town where she spent many childhood days behind the counter of her parents' Thai restaurant with her nose in a book. And she lives with her husband in Austin, Texas, and with her two children. This is a really great novel. I really enjoy it. It was a very good palate cleanser from Dune and Star Trek Section 31 Control. To come to this light fantasy that is sort of inspired by Les Miserables, from what I read, when Christina would go to Thailand with her mom. There was a time where her mom was reading Les Miserables and said how important it is, but she was a little too young to read it in terms of understanding it, something like that. But when she'd get the synopsis sort of from her mother, that really stuck to her. And we definitely have a Javert and Jean Valjean, who I believe would be the character Pong, who has a friend, Somkit, and they are children in a prison. And they're in prison because their parents were criminals or something, or they were born there and they have to stay there till they're 13. We have another character, the Javert of sorts, and that would be Knock. She is the daughter of the commissioner, sort of the person in charge of all this. One day, Somkit, I'm really enjoying looking outside. It's very cloudy, overcast. I like that kind of weather. Anyway, Somkit and Pong are really looking forward to a visit from a very powerful man who created all these lights. Let me give you a little background information on A Wish in the Dark. The side of the city, Chanada? I've already forgotten. Chatana, that's right. Where the prison is enshrouded in darkness. And this other side where you see all these lights, well, that's where the worthy live. Light shines on the worthy. The light is the law is the light which shines on the worthy, and the unworthy are shrouded in darkness, or something like that. There's a whole bunch of phrases that the governor says to sort of keep people in control. And there are different lights, and they are a sort of symbol of your sort of social status, your caste in a way. Though the reason that they have these lights, there are these orbs, and the lights in the orbs provide heat and light, because there was a giant fire that burned this city down. And one man, the governor, came by. He has this magical power to create these orbs with the light, and he decides to create a system where everybody is completely dependent on him so he can maintain his power. And he starts promoting these ideas about light shining on the worthy. Apparently, the first thing he built was this prison that I'm talking about now, that I was talking about a minute ago. And the people with golden lights are the ones whose houses didn't burn down, and they're, sort of at the top of the pecking order. And then it's, I believe, jade and crimson, or amber, crimson, amber, blue, violet, and then darkness. So you can see all those colors in there. Anyway, he's created a stratified system to keep things in control in a way. And he's been in that position for 40 years. He goes on a visit, and Soomkit and especially Pong are incredibly disappointed. Oh my gosh, what happens? Boom, Pong runs away without Soomkit accidentally. He wants Soomkit to come with him, but he runs away and he lies about his identity. He goes to this place, Father Cham, and he hides himself as a monk. And because of this escape, Nock feels that her father is disappointed in her in some way. Well, there are some reasons why she feels that way, but he's not disappointed in her. She has a very black and white view of justice, and she takes it upon herself to seek revenge in a way and bring back Pong so that he can face punishment for running away when he shouldn't have, because he just had to stay till he was 13 and then everything would have been fine. And of course Pong reminds her that that's okay with you because the rules and the laws were made for people like you in power. Okay. It turns out, of course, that this situation is quite complicated for Nock because she's not who she thought she was. Her father had an affair with another woman who happened to be just a woman struggling to get by, and someone left their wallet at her workplace and she took it and took the money, and then she was in prison, and then Nock, she was impregnated, and then she died, and then they wanted to adopt her, and she doesn't realize this until later. I spoiled it for you, too bad, sorry. It came out last year, I'm very sorry. Anyway, this sort of, as she's chasing around Pong, she comes to realize that, wait a second, things are not so black and white. I don't see these people who are struggling. I don't really imagine them as, if they do something wrong, viewed as wrong. Can't see it as they're absolute criminals. And then she learns about that, and she's, sort of shocked in a way, and that really is her going through a tremendous change. Meanwhile, Pong, of course, he makes it back to, after Father Cham dies, he makes it back, and Soomkit finds him, and they make a plan to fill Gold Light with all these orbs, and their Sampai, their sort of head woman in charge, who also knows Father Cham, as well as the governor. Everybody knows him because he casts a great shadow throughout all the characters here. And she wants to have a peaceful protest, march on a bridge, to make a change for a better society. And I've spoiled a lot for you, but I'm just saying, it's such a good book. It's so, it's quite complex in a way. And the characters are very well developed, and you can see the gears grinding in their head, and you can see them change authentically in a way. I really enjoy this book. I think it's fantastic. I recommend it, especially if if you need a little palate cleanser, need to read something for maybe, like I said, it is complex, maybe a little simple, lighthearted in a sense. It's not lighthearted necessarily, but nothing like Dune, for example, which is just like very, very, very serious. There's a lot of funny moments with the kids, and I really like this book, is my main point. I recommend it. I think it's very fun. There's a lot of really interesting issues to talk about, which I will talk about with my students, and about class and social protest, peaceful protests, and this kind of thing. Very good fun, very good book, great characters, very interesting setting. I like the light use of magic and all that stuff. Can't recommend it enough. If I spoiled too much for you, sorry. If you Want to hear more? Stay tuned.